Hey guys, I'm Grimy and welcome back to Bite Size Xcom. Before we get started with the mission, I want to talk about my base layout because I got a comment about it the previous video, and also I was just going to talk about it anyways. So the question was, Grimy, why are you building so many laboratories? You can see that I've got 5 in the bottom right corner of my grid, and the reason is simple. Excuse me. You can either spend your facility grid to build one of 4 things in terms of adjacency bonuses. You can build power generators. I don't need to do that because I have enough. You can use it to build satellite uplinks, but once again, I have enough space for that as well. You can either spend it on laboratories, or you can spend it on workshops. Now, I could spend it on workshops, but I'm not. And here's the reason. So typically, the only way you're going to get a workshop grid is if you're not playing on Impossible, so you have enough power to build a workshop grid in the top few layers. On Impossible difficulty, that's, well, impossible. You need to spend the early grid on power generators and satellite uplinks. So the only way to get a workshop grid in the late game is to deliberately build it in the mid to late game. The problem with that logic is you're literally spending money in the mid game to save money in the late game. And you're not doing it with satellites, so you're not getting like panic reduction in addition to the extra cash. So that is how should I say it? That is total bullshit. And anyone that tells you to build a workshop grid on impossible difficulty is fucking retarded. Okay, so don't build workshop grids on impossible difficulty. Spending mid game money to save money in late game, not a good idea. All right, that leaves one thing: laboratories. Now, laboratories are like the opposite of workshop grids. Whereas workshops, you spend mid-game money to save late-game money. Laboratories, you spend mid-game money, it fast-forwards research, meaning you have more stuff to spend money on earlier in the late game. So you spend money to spend more money. And that's actually useful, because you'll actually have too much money to use in the late game. So that's that. Laboratories, they actually accomplish something useful. Workshops, completely useless. Anyways, let's get on with things. It's 15 days into May, which means Xcom base defense is coming within the next 6 days, more likely sooner than later. So it is absolutely essential that I keep my soldiers stocked with the best gear that I have, meaning I need to give my heavies their laser rifles right now. I should have done that before. Unfortunately, that was a mistake. Whoops. Anyways, we got an alien abduction. I would love to get a captain support, but unfortunately, this is 15 days into May. The slingshot missions should have come by and given me like some engineers by now, but they didn't. So the safest way for me to ensure that I get my satellites out this month is to take the engineer mission. So let's do that. I don't want to give my colonel any more experience, so let's send her back, and we can bring in Zhang. I mean, he's kind of OP. Or I could bring in someone else. Bring in another heavy, but I have so many heavies. Oh, I know. I want to bring in this sniper. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. That sounds like a plan. Okay, let's make items available. You might also notice that I'm not going to give him a scope. He's a squatty, so I won't be able to, yeah, I won't really be using him for shooting. I'm going to use him for grenades. He'll have an easier time, since he doesn't have squad sight or snapshot, he'll have an easier time killing stuff with grenades than with his gun. Let's give him a pistol. Okay, you might notice that I left my squatty in the leader position, but that doesn't actually make a difference. So, I don't know the exact way that the leader is calculated, but it's not based solely on the position. It's like, if you put a bunch of squatties and you put the like a colonel in the last slot, the colonel is still going to become the leader. At the same time, if you have like a colonel who has like low willpower and like a captain that has higher willpower than the colonel, the captain's not going to become the leader, even though he has higher willpower, which is weird, but yeah. Anyways, I want another sniper, so which is why I sent my colonel heavy back, and yeah, let's get this mission started.
That's affirmative.
Our second mission of May an abduction mission on the street overpass map. You can just move up your soldiers to the same positions that I do if you want to advance without triggering line of sight. Our first group of enemies is a pod of sectoids, and 3 of them move into range of a single grenade. I can kill all 3 of those sectoids with a single grenade. The last one's a bit farther away. I could move up, toss 2 grenades, detonate the truck and kill him, but I fire a rocket first, so I can hopefully not waste a soldier's turn. I use my remaining soldiers to take pot shots before I fall back on the last resort, which is an alien grenade, and unfortunately I don't need to resort to that last grenade. Now if the sectoid's dead, I need to figure out how to advance on the remaining alien pods. What I decide to do is I put my squatty on top of the truck. The reason being is if he triggers any aliens, he can fall behind line of sight breakers. If he doesn't, I have a nice high ground spot to put all my soldiers on overwatch, and they can move to high cover the following turn from that position. So it's a very nice place to advance. I spot some mutons the following turn. I make one mistake here, which is I fire my rocket before moving my support. I should have moved my support up first because that could have potentially triggered more aliens. Fortunately, I don't, so I don't get punished for this mistake, but I want you guys to know that it was a mistake. Anyways, I do have lethal damage, guaranteed lethal damage on these mutants in the form of alien grenades. So I move up a few soldiers to take pot shots. I managed to pick them off without having to finish off the last few with explosives, which is always good with mutants, because as mentioned in the previous video, there were 3 weapon fragments as opposed to just 2. After we deal with the mutons, we're kind of put in an awkward position when some floaters come in. So one of the floaters actually stayed behind, meaning aggressive play doesn't work when you don't have a shot on the aliens, right? So I have a few options. I could run my assault up and take out the far floater, but that might trigger the last alien pod, which would be probably the worst decision I could make. Instead what I do is I run and gun my assault into low cover to take a flanking shot on the floater that's behind the meld canister. I could have also thrown 2 grenades to kill them all, but I didn't want to blow up the meld. Anyways, I probably should have blown up the meld in this scenario. The risk that my assault's in is very low, but he is in some risk. I'll show you the exact value in the annotations. But basically, when the last floater comes in the following turn, he has a 50% accuracy shot on my assaults, and with 20% crit chance, he has a 10% chance to kill. I probably should have thrown a smoke grenade first. That would have reduced his chance to kill to 5%, and it would actually probably redirect his aggression to my squatty sniper, who is substantially less valuable. But, it happens. Fortunately, the floater runs away. I've made 2 mistakes this mission. I've not been punished for either of them, fortunately. But, yeah, they were mistakes. I literally have no use for meld right now. I really should have just blown up that meld canister. That's that. The last group of aliens is a bunch of Seekers. I killed them with alien grenades. Specifically, I let my assault blow them up first, and then I finished them off with my squatty sniper. I do this because my squatty sniper really needs XP to get squad sight or snapshot, and since Seekers don't drop weapon fragments, using grenades on them is absolutely fine. Anyways guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next Bite-Size XCOM. Adios.
Remember, we will be watching.
The foundry is already warmed up. I'll make sure to notify you as soon as production is finished.